CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
Thanks for joining us on this Thursday night. Many of us have felt the frustration of slowly trickling through airport security, but now there's another approach, specifically for those coming from the north. CTV's Jack Morris has been following the development and joins us live tonight with more and to explain. Jack.
Well, Sarah, Air Canada is making it easier to get to Pearson from Muskoka. They're expanding their landline service, connecting those small outlying airports to Toronto Pearson International. But it's not a plane, it's a bus. So it works like this. You show up at the Muskoka airport, you check into your flight, you tag your bags, and then you hop on the bus. From there, it drives you straight to Toronto Pearson. You get off at Pearson and go right to bag drop, then onto security and to your gate as normal. The bus makes 2 round trips from Muskoka a day starting June 15th. It doesn't cost any more to leave from the local airport, and once you're on the bus, Air Canada says you'll have similar air passenger protections to what you would have on a plane.
You can start your trip here. You don't have to do the driving. You don't have to pay for parking at Pearson because you can park here. And I think as well, one of the really big impacts is we'll now show up on all those travel planning apps that everybody uses, including the airline websites and all the other travel apps that show us as a destination when you go to select a flight. Because this last leg that's handled by Air Canada, by landline, is considered a leg of a flight. So you fly from Muskoka to Toronto, Toronto to the world, or inbound to Toronto and then up here to Muskoka. It's just that Toronto-Muskoka legs by bus.
Now, there already had been similar landlines in place in Hamilton, Kingston, and Kitchener, but now new this year, Muskoka, Niagara, and Sarnia join the service as another set of options to fly out of Pearson. Sarah.
All right, thanks for that, Jack. Now, after being forced to briefly shut down, ski hills in our region are back up and running, ready to rock for the March break. CTV's Rob Cooper has spent the day at the slopes and brings us more on what we can expect.
What has turned out to be one of the best outdoor recreation winters in recent memory is still going strong across the county despite recent warm spells and rainfall. Ski hills have been blessed with more than enough snow, and skiers are taking advantage.
It's perfect. A bit icy, but pretty good. It's been very good. I've been coming here every season, and it's short distance from Toronto. Very good, very good.
Several local ski hills were forced to close yesterday because of the rain, but were back open today and are gearing up for what is expected to be a busy March break. Mount St. Louis Moonstone is ready to go.
Looks like we're getting into, I like to call it a second winter here coming up ahead. You got some snow coming up, so conditions I think might actually be really, really good.
Over at Horseshoe Valley Resort, the groomers were out this morning shaping the runs. With a base of 90 centimeters of snow, the season is far from over.
It's been amazing. We're coming out of a record February. March is shaping up to be just the same, and we're expecting to be probably the longest season in the last decade.
The slopes and tubing runs in full swing over at Snow Valley. Lots of school kids having fun today. Many will be back Monday for March break.
It's been a great year. There's no complaints from us, that's for sure. The snow has been good. The temperatures have been decent. I mean, we've had some ups and downs, no doubt about it, but the 2 parks have been busy. Zip line's been good. Skiing and snowboarding has been fantastic, so no complaints here at Snow Valley.
Blue Mountain says it too has a solid base and is ready for big numbers in the coming weeks.
Now, the ski hills I spoke with today say they are hoping to run all the way until Easter if Mother Nature cooperates. One thing that is for certain, they all have enough of a snow base to make the upcoming March break an epic one. Rob Cooper, CTV News at Snow Valley.
That mild weather is putting a pause on snowmobiling in parts of our province. Officials say the warmer weather has made many trails unsafe, prompting closures, though not all. Some are still open with conditions classified as yellow or green, meaning that they are limited or fully available. OPP is urging snowmobilers to stay off closed trails and keep an eye on updates before planning any rides. So, Luke, the question becomes not if, but when the snow returns in our region. Can you share?
Well, yeah, Sarah, if you love the snow, well, you're in luck because, like Rob Cooper just said, the snow is expected to hang around, especially with all of these cooler temperatures that we've really been seeing. The sun is out, but you're still going to need a fairly heavy jacket on if you do plan on enjoying your evening tonight, as those wind chills are still going to be making temperatures quite cold. Now, let's go and take our first look at weather. Of course, that's brought to you by Presler Injury Law. Call 1-800-JUSTICE. It is -3 outside right now, and it is expected to get a little bit more cold as we make our way into that overnight hours, but it's really the wind that we're paying attention to. It's 28 kilometers an hour from the west, gusting upwards of 50. So yes, it is going to feel quite cold. Taking a look at temperatures around the region, you're sitting at -3 in Barrie, Orillia, -4 in Gravenhurst, Algonquin Park, as well as Parry Sound. A little bit warmer if you are traveling further south, -1 in Alliston, -2 in Newmarket, and about 0 in Toronto. Taking a look at the radar and satellites, well, we did see a mix of sun and clouds today, but with that sun and cloud, we did see some light snow activity make its way through the region, but nothing really too serious as of right now. That snow could return a little bit later on this evening and into tomorrow, Sarah, but just how much snow? Well, you'll have to stay tuned to find out in just a little bit.
All right, thanks for that, Luke. Barrie police say a pedestrian was seriously hurt after being hit by a vehicle on Wednesday night. This was the scene just before 9 p.m. at the intersection of Sunnydale Road and Wellington Street West, where officers say they found a woman with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. An investigation led to a 56-year-old man from Barrie being arrested, now facing several charges, including impaired operation causing bodily harm and possession of methamphetamine. A school bus carrying 44 high school students caught fire this morning in Caledon East around 8 a.m. on Innis Lake Road between Old Church Road and Aitchison Drive. All students and the driver made it out and no injuries were reported. Officials say the fire is not considered suspicious and appears to have been caused by a mechanical issue. A bail review is underway for an Agila-Toronto man accused of murdering his wife in November. The man, neighbors say, had terminal brain cancer, and now loved ones are fighting to have him released from jail. CTV's Mike Arsaelides reports.
Accused of murdering his wife while battling terminal brain cancer, 44-year-old Ranjit Singh Chima was granted his release from jail following a bail review. Chima is charged with second-degree murder in the death of his wife, 41-year-old Sukhdeep Chima, inside their Agila-Toronto home in mid-November. The ruling comes following several days of witness testimony. 4 loved ones pledged $370,000 to serve as sureties under strict house arrest conditions that included Chima wearing a GPS ankle monitor. Justice Donna Kelway ruled Chima will be granted bail 4 months after he was accused of his wife's murder on November 15th. Chima was arrested 3 days after police said a suspicious death investigation was underway. Neighbors told CTV News Chima, his wife, their teenage son, and the family's grandparents all lived in the home for about a year. Chima, according to neighbors, was undergoing treatment following several cancer surgeries. Police haven't revealed how Sukhdeep Chima died or why it took investigators 3 days to charge the accused with murder. Evidence heard during Chima's bail review is protected by a publication ban. Chima is scheduled to return to a virtual Bradford courtroom in a week. The allegations against him have not been tested in court. Mike Arsaelides, CTV News, Barrie.
York Regional Police have charged a man with multiple sexual offenses following an investigation in Newmarket. On March 2nd, police say an adult male was seen at a public library in the early afternoon exposing himself while using his cell phone. Investigators have now charged 37-year-old Ryan Toms of Newmarket, and they're sharing this photo of the accused as they believe there may be additional victims. An Ontario parent is issuing a warning tonight after her 13-year-old daughter was hospitalized after taking part in a dangerous TikTok challenge.
How many pills do you think she took?
So we know for a fact that both her and the friend each took 36 Benadryl tablets.
Wow.
The trend, known as the Benadryl Challenge, encourages young people to take large amounts of allergy medication to receive a high and hallucinations. The daughter spent 4 days at the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario and has now recovered. But according to U.S. media, at least one teenager has died after doing the challenge there. Concerns around flooding in parts of our region remain high as the Ministry of Natural Resources continues to keep a watershed conditions statement in place. The advisory applies to areas including Severn, Ramera, Tiny and Tay townships, along with the Severn and Black Rivers and Sparrow Lake. Officials warn water levels and river flows could continue to rise due to ongoing rain, melting snow and milder temperatures. This is the scene in Orillia, where you can see some of that widespread flooding. City officials say crews are actively responding to flooding in several areas of the Sunshine City. Drivers could encounter road closures and delays as staff work to keep residents safe. Now, in response to those concerns from people, the City of Barrie has set up a temporary self-serve sandbag station at the Collins Drive launch ramp. That's located at 425 Collins Drive. The station provides sand only, so you are required to bring your own bag and shovels. Barrie City Council has approved changes to protect industrial lands while still supporting some commercial businesses in industrial areas. So, Council passed an amendment to the city's official plan last night to align with provincial growth policies. The update recognizes a difference between service industrial areas, which can include businesses like pool supply or renovation stores, and employment industrial lands used for factories and plants. Mayor Alex Nettle says the city will no longer make exceptions that allow low-impact commercial businesses into purely industrial zones.
So it's a matter of respecting and providing that stability of what's there, and at the same time preserving in the future. And I'm totally open to, after this meeting, writing a letter to every industrial landowner in the city of Barrie saying, please don't come here for a rezoning because you're not going to get supported. But if you want to help us attract industry to the city, we'll love to help you do that.
Council also decided to grandfather in industrial buildings that already house lighter use businesses, allowing those operations to continue where they are. The Simcoe County District School Board says a new elementary school is on the horizon. The school will be located in southeast Barrie at 210 Dean Avenue, ready to welcome students by September of 2027. To prepare for the opening, there will be a review to determine which students will attend the new school and help balance enrollment at several southeast Barrie schools, including Allendale Heights, Hewitt's Creek, Mapleview Heights, Willow Landing, Innisdale, and Maple Ridge. A drop-in information session will also be held at Mapleview Heights Elementary School. That'll be on March 26th. Seniors in Barrie had the chance to learn some life-saving safety tips today.
It's cooking. It's our #1 reason in Ontario for house fires and all.
The city hosted a 55-plus fire and emergency prevention session this morning where a fire prevention officer spoke with attendees about common fire hazards in the home and how to reduce some risks.
It's a Stay Safe in Your Space booklet, and it's got different tips and information on what I call our core 4, so the main 4 reasons we see fires in Ontario.
Just make sure everything is safe and standard, like putting salt down, or make sure there's nobody trips on wires.
One-on-one interaction seems to be how learning occurs best. When you actually speak with people and engage and have a dialogue, you can see the pieces of the puzzle come together.
The session also covered how to prepare for emergencies and explain new rules around carbon monoxide alarms. Well, we're learning that the city of Barrie is getting a little extra green this St. Patrick's Day. We're ready. A new study by Betway ranks Barrie among the top cities in Canada to celebrate the Irish holiday. The study looks at factors like online interest, dining costs, safety, and the number of residents with Irish heritage. Barrie came in 6th overall, proving that you don't need a parade because many of the top cities do have one, but you don't need it to have a great St. Patrick's Day. Still to come, buy a shirt, support Simcoe County students. This locally designed garment can now be found in a popular Canadian chain store. We'll share the story behind that next. Plus, a first-of-its-kind archive of the world's longest freshwater beach, how you can share your memories to help preserve them for generations to come. You're watching CTV Barrie. Thanks for staying with us. A young artist from a local elementary school has turned his creative idea into reality.
I was joking around with my friend Dylan, and I thought people like cowboys and people like fish, and that's how I got the idea of anglefish wearing a cowboy hat, and then I wrote it to Giant Tiger on the computer.
Oh, adorable. Meet Tristan, a grade 4 student from Terry Fox Elementary School who can now call himself a fashion designer even though he didn't draw the shirt design himself. But as you heard, he came up with the idea, an angelfish wearing a cowboy hat, and wrote to the local Giant Tiger store to suggest it. Well, the store owner loved the concept, and now his design is on t-shirts ready for purchase.
You have to come to my store with your family wearing that shirt. 3 weeks ago, I received the letter, and someone in my store handed it to me and said, Jamal, have a look at this. So I opened it, and the first sentence was, hi, my name is Tristan. I'm a grade 4 student, and I just dropped the letter, and I'm like, come on now, this kid's not old enough to work here. I thought it was a resume. I reached out to the office and said, hey, can we do something with this? They were all over it, and within 3 weeks, we've got the shirts.
I said that, like, one of the reasons they should make the shirt is because if there's a group of fishermen going to go fishing, they should wear it.
I love it. I think we'll have to get Casey Colby one of those shirts so we can proudly display it on CTV Barrie. They're sold at the Giant Tiger North End and online, with all of the profits going back to support student programs at the school. If you have memories of playing in the sand at Wasaga Beach, hanging with friends on the waterfront strip, or simply enjoying all our local beach town has to offer, now is the time to share it.
We asked the archives for some digital imagery, and we've blown them up and now put them on the wall.
The town of Wasaga Beach is inviting the public to help preserve local history through its Memories project in partnership with the Wasaga Beach Public Library. Anyone could submit photographs, videos, written stories, and other memorabilia that captures life in the town, creating the community's first ever digital archive.
Community definitely sets the tone. That is the history of Wasaga Beach and how wonderful this community is and all the connections that have been built and the really strong memories that are associated with this place. Come share your own stories and connect with your peers and your colleagues and your neighbors and the rest of the community.
The town's library is also inviting everyone to a free pop-up museum this Sunday where you can see historic photos, artifacts, interactive displays, and storytelling sessions with local historians. It's a small instrument rather, with a strong sound, and this group at the Barrie Library plays it with a big heart. These musicians gather once a week to play, and if you're a little more advanced, you can sing along too. It's not a formal class. Everyone from absolute beginners to seasoned ukulele players are welcome. The group has about 15 regular members, but on some days, as many as 35 people have shown up.
It's always fun to be here. We have like a really good time every week we meet, and it's just a bunch of people playing and trying to learn how to play. We've got beginners, we've got people that have never played an instrument before, all the way to people that have had musical instruction and sing and play.
There's something almost dreamy about the sound. They have a new song list every month, the chance to stretch your musical muscles and meet up with fellow players. If you're looking for more information about any of the community events that you see during our newscast, you can revisit it all on our website, ctvnews.ca/Barrie. Use your cell phone to scan that QR code on the screen. Still to come, the busiest travel week of the year is upon us, and Toronto Pearson Airport is making sure it's ready. We'll have details on what's being done, but first, let's head outside. Luke's in the garden.
Well, Sarah, most regions in this area had a break from the snow, including today, but that's not the case if we're looking at the rest of the week. Yes, you'll have to stay tuned to see who and how much snow some areas in this region will be getting. First, let's go and take a look at our weather watcher, Lennox. Lennox, yes, we are howling at the moon. Fantastic picture. It's probably just howling for the snow to go away. Thank you so much. Stay with us. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And next week on the show, Bounce to the Bank is back, brought to you by Midland Toyota.
That's right. There's a daily prize of $1,000 and a grand prize of $25,000 up for grabs.
So make sure you tune in Monday to Friday so you can get all those keywords in over at bounce1041.ca.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
have been a fun cleanup. We are celebrating silly moments all week long here on CTV Barrie, so please continue to either capture those special memories or dig them up and send them to us. Picture this at ctv.ca. Now, Luke, yesterday I asked you what your most embarrassing on-air moment was. You shared that it was dancing on live TV with a children's cartoon mascot. Well, that was a mistake to tell us, because through the magic of the internet, we found it. Want to take a look?
Oh, let's take a look.
7,
Let's go, Sky. Oh, I went side there.
There you go.
I'm better than Daryl.
Oh, there you go. What is happening here?
You know what? The Paw Patrol comes to the arena in Regina every year, and they came in to promote the show and taught us how to dance, Sarah. They taught us how to dance.
I'm hoping that after this segment you are a bit better, because I applaud your enthusiasm, but I'm not sure you're quite getting it.
No, dancing is the reason why I am here at CTV Barrie. They might have forced me to leave.
After that, they said, good riddance.
Yeah, they said, stick to your day job, Luke. Stick to your day job. So that's why we're here.
Which today is the weather, so take it away.
Yeah, today is the weather, and Sarah, you know, we had a break from that snow today, but really not a break from the wind. We talked about wind gusts yesterday, and those really picked up and into today. Winds anywhere from 30 to 50 kilometers an hour, and it's going to make the temperature feel a little bit colder than what we really saw today as well. So it's going to linger on into the evening, and we'll probably see some snow as well. Taking a look at temperatures right through the region. Outside right now, -4 Gravenhurst, as well as Parry Sound, -5 in Algonquin Park, -3 Aurelia Barrie, Collingwood, -1 in Alliston, and about 1 degree in Toronto. Here's a look at the temperatures today. -2 was your high, low of -6. That is going to continue to get lower as we make our way into the evening, especially with that wind kind of hovering right around the normal temperatures for a low, a few degrees colder than what it should. How about those records? 2024, 18 degrees. We can go for some 18-degree temperatures right now. Sunrise tomorrow, 7:34 a.m. The days are getting longer. Taking a look and a future look into the forecast, well, there are those cloudy conditions, and yes, there is that snow that everyone is most likely dreading. We could see 5 to 10 centimeters right through our region, depending on where you are. And mixed in with the winds, yeah, we could see slight visibility concerns as well. Here's a look at your temperatures overnight. You're seeing -13 right through the region, -9 in Owen Sound. The snow could make an appearance briefly before partly cloudy conditions overnight, before you do see most of that snow tomorrow. And into tomorrow, you're seeing about 0 degrees with the chance of those flurries really taking some action. 1 degree in Owen Sound as well. In York region tonight, we will see double digits as well. You're seeing -10 right through Bradford, Georgina, as well as Newmarket and Richmond Hill, -11 in Orangeville. We're seeing a special weather statement as well due to those high winds in that Orangeville region. Tomorrow, 2 degrees. You could see that snow really make its way right through York region, Georgina, and Bradford. Further north we go. -14 is your overnight low. Wind chills could push that closer to -20. That snow briefly making appearance before partly cloudy conditions overnight. You're going to wake up with cloudy conditions tomorrow before that snow really does finally settle in. You're seeing about a 1 degree high in most areas. You could see about -1 in Haliburton. Taking a look into our 5-day forecast, which is, of course, brought to you by Diamond in Diamond Lawyers. What do the next few days bring? We'll take a look at that. Pretty consistent until the brand new week in Simcoe County. You're seeing a high of 11 degrees, so we're going to look forward to that. But the downside to that is, yes, you are going to see a lot of moisture make its way right through the region and to -8 on Tuesday. So rain right into the snow for next week. Taking a look in York region, we get a break from the snow on Saturday. You can see a mix of sun and cloud, but not to worry. That snow and rain make it right back into Sunday. You're seeing a high of 3 degrees right to -12 on Monday into the -5 on Tuesday. Muskoka, Parry Sound, Haliburton. What are we seeing? 1 degree tomorrow. You're seeing about 0 on Saturday, but once again, that snow and rain is really going to have an effect on us here over the next few days. You're seeing a high of 11 degrees on Monday, so a brief melt before it does start to get colder again. You're seeing some snow on Tuesday, so Sarah, the topsy-turvy conditions really do continue over the next few days. We could see 5 to 10 centimeters for tomorrow.
Topsy-turvy, that's how we could describe your dancing. Right after that went to air, we got a phone call from a local dance studio, and they said they saw it, and they are pleading with you to please come take some lessons.
Yeah, I might have to take them up on that offer, Sarah. I really might.
I love our viewers. Thanks, Luke. March break is just around the corner, and many families are getting ready to head out on vacation. But as travel plans take off, CTV's John Musselman brings us a look at how Toronto Pearson Airport is gearing up for one of the busiest weeks of the year.
It's one of the busiest travel weeks of the year, and people are heading just about everywhere.
Japan.
Going to Vancouver.
Orlando, Florida.
Punta Cana.
France and Italy.
Officials at Pearson say they expect to see more than 1.7 million passengers during March break, with peak travel days reaching up to 163,000 travelers. People are being advised to be mindful of how they pack and get to the airport in plenty of time.
Arriving 2 hours before a domestic flight, 3 hours before an international flight, it gives you time to park, get through security, get past security, and we have a number of activities over March break as well, because this is the time of year where a lot of families are traveling. There's a lot of young kids, so we have things like a magician in the terminal, we have live music, we have in Terminal 1 a family movie lounge. So these are some of the things that we put in place so that people can really enjoy and relax and start their vacation when they get to the airport, and giving yourself enough time before your flight, just make sure that that process is seamless.
The liquids aerosol gel restrictions are still in place. You want to make sure all your containers are 100 ml or below, and they are packed in a clear 1 liter plastic bag. Anything over that, it's a good idea that you want to check them in your checked luggage.
Most passengers we talked to today say it's been a long winter, and they're looking forward to some warm air, relaxing time at the beach, or sitting by a pool.
We're heading to Orlando, Florida, to Universal Studios.
I'm very excited. I'm happy to get out of this cold weather. I'm tired of blowing the snow. We live in Barrie.
We're going to Cancun.
We are going to Vietnam.
Wow.
Yes,
exciting.
yeah.
How long has this been in the works?
We've been planning this since last year, actually.
Relaxing from work, hanging out with family, obviously, playing with my kids, sightseeing. All of the above, yeah, and the food, of course.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are traditionally the busiest days at Pearson leading into the March break. John Musselman, CTV News.
And for those who haven't been planning since last year, yes, last-minute planners, you may want to keep this in mind before you book that trip. Industry analysts are warning of significant fare increases, especially if the cost of jet fuel remains high. It's predicted that international flight prices could rise up to $200, but it's still unclear how domestic flights may be affected as airlines are working to minimize the impact. Speaking of rising prices, people have been flocking to the pumps today, trying to take advantage before another spike overnight. CTV's Sean Leathong brings us more on that.
At this Costco gas station in Etobicoke, it's a little cheaper to fill up, but the recent run-up in prices has these pumps busy and customers feeling
not too good. It'd be nice to be able to keep that, that extra little bit of money in your pocket right now.
Right now in the GTA, the average liter is about $1.50, and that's actually down 8 cents from yesterday. Tomorrow the price is expected to go up another 6 cents and continue from there.
1 minute is down 8 cents, but at least we know that the next day is going up 6 cents or 8 cents, so it's like today then we can scramble and at least fill our tanks.
Drivers like Darren Clark say the volatile price of oil created by war in the Middle East are making further price increases seem inevitable.
I can tell you as this war goes on and what have you, this will be up to 178, 175, easy.
I do worry that this could go along. The longer it goes on, I worry that it gets worse.
We have a serious, volatile situation in our hands that we need a quick solution to.
Matt McLean from GasBuddy.com says as the key shipping route through the Strait of Hormuz remains closed off, 20% of the world's oil is being held hostage and prices will only go up.
We need that Strait of Hormuz to reopen, and we need it to reopen now.
McLean says the strategic oil reserves are coming online, but it's hard to predict prices when there's no end in sight to the conflict. While at the pumps, some drivers say price increases seem a little too immediate.
It going up so quickly is kind of interesting, right? Like, how can it affect
fuel that's already been made already.
I don't like it at all. I'm honestly very worried for weeks now, and I don't see it coming to an end, and I really, really hope it will.
And this comes as the spring and summer driving season will soon start.
Shawnee Thong, CTV News.
Now, if you are frustrated, here's your chance to be heard. We have put together a CTV web poll asking if rising gas prices will affect your travel habits. The options: yes, I will make a point to drive less; no, I will drive as much as usual; or not sure. It will depend on just how high those prices go. You can find that poll on our website, ctvnews.ca/Barrie. After the break, at first it may look like an accident, but further digging reveals it was in fact staged. How fake insurance claims are driving up premiums. Plus, we'll recap tonight's top stories. Stay with us. Recapping our top stories on this Thursday. Accused of murdering his wife while battling terminal brain cancer, 44-year-old Ranjit Singh Cheema was granted his release from jail following a bail review. Cheema is charged with second-degree murder in the death of his wife, 41-year-old Sukhdeep Cheema, inside their Adjula Toronto home in mid-November. Air Canada is making it easier to get to Pearson Airport from Muskoka. You check into your flight at the local Muskoka Airport, tag your bags, and then a bus drives you straight to the Toronto Airport. The bus makes 2 round trips from Muskoka a day starting on June 15th. And several local ski hills were forced to close yesterday because of the rain, but the slopes are back up and running. That includes Mount St. Louis Moonstone, Horseshoe Valley Resort, Snow Valley, and Blue Mountain. All say are ready for March break. It's been 1 year since Donald Trump imposed steel and aluminum tariffs, with some rising to 50%. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver takes a look at how the steel industry is holding up.
Ottawa's Ambico Limited sells 75% of its steel doors to the United States, a country that 1 year ago implemented heavy tariffs that reshaped North American trade.
We've probably suffered in the vicinity of $500,000 of cash that we've had to pay unexpectedly. So that hurts.
Since the U.S. president initially slapped a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum products, costs have skyrocketed. Confidence from American customers has plummeted, and predictability, especially with CUSMA negotiations ongoing, has evaporated.
So we have a lot of variables that we build into our cost structure. Tariffs is a major concern if the CUSMA agreements fall by the wayside.
Ambico is lucky. Their manufactured products are CUSMA compliant and not subject to the Section 232 tariffs that are crushing primary steel producers like Ontario's Algoma Steel. Last quarter alone, Algoma Steel saw steel shipments drop 31% and reported a net loss of $364.7 million, driven largely by tariffs.
It's an illustrative example of the pain that the industry's been going through as we try to, unravel, if you will, 30 years of integration with the United States.
The industry is desperate for tariffs to be lifted and hopes ongoing CUSMA negotiations will do that. But today, the minister leading the review refused to take questions, and the industry minister offered no update.
What kind of update can you give us? When it comes to steel, our goal right now is to make sure that we help our steel workers. That's what we've been doing.
The association representing primary steel producers says it will take a long time to undo the damage caused by 1 year of steel tariffs. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
And oil prices have surged back over $100 U.S. a barrel amid the ongoing war in the Middle East. New video shows 2 oil tankers on fire in the Persian Gulf, which forced Iraq to suspend oil operations. Iran has escalated attacks on oil infrastructure across the Gulf in an effort to create enough economic pressure globally to see the U.S. and Israel back off on their continued bombing campaign. And the financial markets have seen a lot of ups and downs as a result of that war, with numbers in the red in early morning trading. Let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers as we close the day. The TSX was down 279 points, the Dow was down 739, and the Nasdaq was down 404. And commodities, oil was up, closing at $95.73 a barrel. Gold was down, finishing at $5,125 an ounce. Our dollar down to end the day at 73.44 cents U.S. A troubling trend on the road is costing Canadians money as criminals stage collisions and fake claims to make a profit. W5's John Woodward takes a closer look at the tactic and how investigators are trying to catch those responsible.
This is dashcam video of a car cruising along Toronto's Highway 407, and it abruptly turns and hits a guardrail. No one was injured. The driver claimed he swerved to avoid another car and looked to Aviva Insurance Company for a potential payout of thousands of dollars. And that's where investigator Mike Cardillo comes in.
And you'll see this car right here going very slowly onto the on-ramp.
Cardillo's team checked out the highway's traffic camera system to see the crash from a different angle. Same guardrail crash, but there's clearly no car the driver is trying to avoid. But that video reveals something else unexpected.
If you can see this car right here, he was following closely.
There is another car, but it's farther back. And as the traffic camera records, you can see the pair switch before anyone else gets there.
You get footage like that, it tells the whole story on what exactly happened.
The person making the claim wasn't even driving the car, making any claim he was injured in that crash impossible.
Talk to me about those videos. What jumps out at you as an investigator?
That's the smoking gun. In an investigation, you have the video clear as day that the individual got out of the driver's side of the vehicle, hopped into another vehicle to take off.
A staged collision to profit off a fake insurance claim, and it's hardly the only one. Take this video of a parking lot east of Toronto. A dramatic rear-end crash that sparked a claim that Aviva believed was also fake, asking the driver enough questions that they abandoned the claim. Cardillo and his team have been inundated with staged collisions this year. Their figures show across the country the number has risen some 400% in 2025 to about 1,066.
We're really facing challenges.
Jamie Lee is Aviva's head of fraud and financial crime.
That's a tremendous increase.
Yeah.
What accounts for that?
What we're seeing is actually vehicle theft has been decreasing, which is great because some of the actions that government and the industry and law enforcement have been taking is working.
That's the good news. A report by a national insurance group says while some 60,000 vehicles were stolen in 2024, that dropped by 18% in 2025. But here's the bad news.
Unfortunately, organised criminals need other means to make money, and now they're turning to other auto fraud-related crime.
Auto thieves are moving over to insurance fraud. Aviva, not the only company to be hit. An investigation last summer in Peel, west of Toronto, revealed a massive, allegedly criminal scheme, including violence and extortion. But a big part of it was defrauding insurance companies, including Saskatchewan Government Insurance, Cooperators, Bel Air Direct, Wawanesa, and Intact.
Today is another example of what diversification for criminal groups looks like, because they find different ways to seek vulnerabilities, exploit them, turn them into profits.
The charges not proven in court.
What does it tell you that the people who are accused of being involved in extortion and tow truck violence are also allegedly trying to pull scams?
It tells you that the money is there to be made, and more of the challenges that we're facing is that they're getting very sophisticated.
The investigators are vigilant, but can't be sure how many scams they're not catching, because these investigations are difficult without video like this. John Wood.
And it is a two-part series. So tomorrow, John looks into what the insurance companies are calling a surprising loophole that allows repeat fraudsters to make even more claims. Toronto FC is set to play its home opener on Saturday, and the team is offering guidance for fans trying to navigate the changes to BMO Field ahead of this summer's FIFA World Cup.
All of our gates at BMO Field will be open. Last year there was challenges from construction, so we only had a few of the gates open, so all 6 gates will be open. So entry into the venue will be quicker, will be better. Key points for that specifically, for the first time with BMO Field, your mobile ticket will have your gate number on your ticket. Fans are encouraged to make sure they pay attention to that, because of the construction, there's some changes to how fans are going to move and mobilize in and around the venue, so that experience will be a little bit different.
Construction is being done to increase capacity at the stadium, which will host 6 World Cup games this summer. TFC is set to take on New York Red Bulls at 1 p.m. on Saturday in their first home game of the season. Still to come, the Barrie Colts are making a push in the standings with just 6 games left in the regular season. We'll tell you what's on the line tonight as the Colts take the ice at Southern Arena. Stay with us. Here's a look at your primetime lineup. 4 back-to-back episodes of The New Girl starting at 8, followed by Criminal Minds at 10 p.m. and CTV News Barrie at 11. Time now to talk about the Colts. They're back in action tonight, hosting the Ottawa 67s.
Hits the brakes, sends it back to Von Richter. Von Richter to Zabeski, back to Von Richter. His shot scores!
Barrie is holding strong, 2 points ahead of Ottawa for second place in the East. The top spot in the East and the OHL is just within reach, 5 points away with only 6 games left in the regular season. Fans are ready for some exciting hockey and big moves in the standings. Puck drop tonight at Sadlon Arena, just a few minutes' time. At 102 years old, one Toronto man is still going for gold. The centenarian athlete continues to compete in multiple sports, showing no sign of slowing down. CTV's Andrea Case has the story.
The 60-meter dash at the Canadian Masters Championships. And they're off. 40 seconds later, and the last to cross the finish line was Atar Singh Sekhon. Not bad for an old man. How old? Sekhon is 102. Through his son, Joginder Singh Sekhon, Atar says he's feeling very good today. Legally blind and hard of hearing, Joginder is by his side as a precaution. He had a busy weekend. In addition to the shot put, he took on the 50-meter and 200-meter race, winning each in his age group at a competition for athletes over the age of 35. But at his age, he's the only one in the 100 to 104 category. Sekhon moved to Canada in 1988 at the age of 64 and began exercising in his 70s to stay in shape. But he didn't start competing until 2017 at the age of 94.
He hopes he lives more longer. So long he lives, he will keep doing all these athletic activities.
As a Sikh, Atar says if he is reincarnated, he hopes to return as an even better athlete.
It's easier to raise strong and positive kids than to repair broken adults. If I can do at 102, why not other levels of age people can do these things?
Andrea Case, CTV News.
There is your daily dose of inspiration, Luke. Do you think you'll still be moving or maybe even dancing at 102?
Listen, we've seen dancing today, we've seen running today. It just shows that I can't do either, Sarah.
You can talk about the weather, though.
I can. Maybe you're going out for a run tomorrow morning and you're going to be one of the brave ones. Well, for our Get Up and Go forecast, you might be able to do that before the snow makes its way in. -12 in Barrie, a mix of sun and cloud. You can see -9 in Newmarket, -13 in Gravenhurst before that snow does really start to settle in. Now, let's bring up our weather alerts board really quickly here because you can see a special weather statement has been put in effect for most of our region. You can see 10 to 15 centimeters of snow between now and Friday evening with wind gusts to 50 to 70 kilometers an hour. So quite the system potentially making its way in. So Environment Canada, climate change is definitely making us aware. Sarah?
All right, thanks for that, Luke. That's all the time we have on this Thursday night. I'm Sarah Freemark. Thanks so much for being here. Jack will wrap it all up tonight at 11. Take care out there.